What's up, guys? Welcome to day 14 of my trade journal, where I'm trading one system, one ticker, S&P 500s every single day for a full year. And I'm going to journal every session to track progress, reflect, and sharpen my execution. So if you're serious about building consistency and treating trading like a business, you're in the right place. Stick around. And at the end, I'm going to break down key levels that I'm watching for tomorrow. So let's go. Today, I made about $187, 188, 87% win rate for the trades. Took about a bunch of trades and things worked out pretty good today. So let's go over the signals, and partly it was because of the signals. We'll go over them real quick. So at 8:38, we had market structure. 9:38. What am I saying? Market structure had flipped bullish. So really weird place to flip bullish. So that was at the top there. Fortunately, market dropped from there, so that signal I don't think it worked out that well. And then by 9:47, market structure had flipped bearish because it came down so much, right? And then we ran back up from that. So with a short the resistance here, I think I actually took that trade shorting the resistance. It worked out, and then we moved back up again. Uh, but this time with such strong volume, I shorted the resistance here, and that trade actually got stopped out. And then I shorted the resistance here as well. So 950, we had a DD sell signal. So that was also a pretty strong confirmation as well for me. That signal worked out pretty good there, though. If you took it at that signal, that worked out pretty good. And then 1013, we had our X3 buy signal. So signals all over the place. So there was supposed to be a buy signal here, but we're in bearish structure, so we want to use the opportunity to take a short. And then 1030, market structure have flipped back to bullish, which was a scam because you know we were just in bearish structure, so flip back bullish, and then as soon as it flips bullish, market makers took it down just to kind of trick us. But I think for people trading market structures these days, I would say one thing to take a look at is also how like the bullish flips works. If we're bullish and we're above the 1 minute MOB, that's great. But the second that we're under the 1 minute MOB, that's also another indication of like bearish or bullish market structure. If we're under the 1 minute MOB and market structure is telling you it's bullish, it's not truly bullish yet. So in this case, the second we flip bullish, we lost the MOB really quick. So that's where you want to be hesitant. And then we back test the MOB. I shorted that, make good money there despite market structure being bullish because we were under the MOB at this point. And then again, came back here. Market back tested our big yellow line, which is the MOB, shorted again, and that worked out really well. Made some money back there. And then by 11:30, which was at this point, right, market structure has now flipped bearish. So if it flipped bearish and we're under the MOB, we got to short it. So that worked out pretty good there. Um, then 11:50, we had a buy signal, man. Like market structures, signals are just wacky today. So we had a buy signal over here, but there was no sign of buying. Volume was very strong and just carried things down. Um, so that signal did not work out. 1240, that was a buy signal there too. So we're in bearish market structure, so we want to look for higher levels of short. So price short here, here. That worked out kind of. If you took the buy signal, it would worked out too. And then 1250, we had a double buy signal. That was over here. That did push up a little bit, worked out pretty well. Um, then if you short the moving average there, would have been great. 110 had another buy signal, another double buy signal. Where's that? Right here. And then 130, another double buy signal. It's very interesting. There's a lot of weird moves today. This one ended up working out. This one did not. If you bought at that buy signal here, would have probably gone almost stopped out if you had a 10-point stop loss. Would move 9 points there. And then if you add here, you would have been good. We did eventually end up coming back to test the MOB at the end of the day, but overall it was a pretty wild day. Market structure was still bearish this whole time from here to here. So essentially, you want to short the resistance here, here, um, maybe even here as well. But if you went long to here, the red line or the orange line would have been good exits. It looks like a pretty wild day. I didn't trade after 12, so I really didn't catch half of these move here at the end. Just because I was not that confident in the market today, knowing that there was a lot of like misdirections from the structures and signals, but it seems like the signals worked out pretty good toward the end of the day. Let's take a look at market direction real quick. So Tuesday we had this huge moving average divergence crossing downside, um, and that kind of signaled that we're pretty bearish as we lost all the moving average on the 5 minute and 10 minute. The 5 minutes we lost the day before over here. So we still continue to grind down. Now we're the 30-minute time frame where all the moving averages are starting to cross over. So you can see here, right? We're all crossing downwards. So if we back test 6410 again and we fail to push over, we should continue to go down. Kind of land in the same area. When was the last time? Let's see. Yeah, the last time I kind of stall around this area. Let me check the 2 hour time frame. Hmm. So let me show you guys a cleaner chart. 2 hour time frame, looking at MES instead of ES. So this chart has no drawing on it. The last few times we had these major big drops. For example, August 1st. This was in June 20th. We have been holding this blue line here on the 2 hour chart. So we somewhat technically held that line so far as well. So I guess this is going to be a pretty interesting area. Let me see. No, that was 2 hours. So I guess as long as we don't lose 63.50, we could flip bullish. If we do lose it, there's a bigger flush coming. We could essentially flush back to 61.50s or yeah, I think we can flush to even 6,000s. There's a lot of opportunity for the downside if this doesn't hold. Yeah, we'll see how things play out here. So if this area doesn't start showing some support, we're probably going to go down more. The good thing on the bullish side, if you're bullish, if you're looking for a market to buy the dip and move back up, you have somewhat of a double bottom set up here and you want this to hold. If that double bottom setup holds, we break above the middle of this part here, which is 64.25 area, we're bullish. So I think this is a good pivot to go over key levels for tomorrow. So these were yesterday's levels. So today's level is 64.35 and 64.20. So 64.20 is over here. As long as we're under 64.20, I would say we're pretty hardcore bearish if we can flip around over 64.35. So it's like this. As long as we're under this level, I expect us to come back here and bam, reject it, right? If we do go over here, I expect some type of chop between these two zones. Now, if we just do a straight move like this, where we push over, then now we need to flip bullish. So if you see a back test to 64.35, look to buy and expect a grind back up to 6,500, which is all the way up here, right? So I think those are some probabilities that could happen. As of right now, we're leaning bearish until invalidated. By invalidated, it means we need to go over 64.35. If we can go over that, that invalidates all this downtrend that we've seen here and expect to see uptrend instead. All right. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope this was helpful. I feel like I need to make these videos shorter. So if you guys let me know if this is too long, please let me know if I should make it shorter. Thank you and have a great day.